And I'm Izzy, and we're roommates!
I'm Zeta, I use she, they pronouns, and this is my sister.
I'm Aria, I use she, her pronouns, and this is my sister.
Hi, I'm Juliana, or Jules. I'm currently using she, they pronouns, and Nisha is my bestie.
Hi, I'm Nisha, pronouns are she, her, and Jules is my bestie.
Hi, I'm Annika.
And I'm Cindy.
And I'm her daughter.
And I'm her mom.
My favorite thing about May is that she's always very optimistic about everything. Like, even if something is going like horribly wrong, she can be like, you know, this is good because of this reason. And like, she always finds a reason to be positive about things.
You have a really open heart, which is really generic, but I'll notice like when I have like a mean thought or I'm trying to like navigate situations, you just approach literally every person with just like so much grace. You give everybody so much grace, even if you don't like them or you don't agree with them. And it really challenges me to like not make snap judgments, and it also makes me feel so safe around you.
I think another one of my favorite qualities, of just like in general, is how resilient you are. You know, you have this like positivity and strength about you that is really wonderful to be around. And I know that you said that that comes from your mother. Just like the kindness you always give to others, even when, you know, you're going through something personally or you don't like the person that you're talking to. And that's the thing that I like about you most.
I don't think you see it in yourself, but you do have like this gentleness with the way you approach people and speak to them. And maybe like afterwards you might get like frustrated, or you have moments where like you think you're being like you're being too mean, and in my head I just like look at you and I'm like, you're so kind that even when you're like frustrated and just like want to have an emotion about something, you like think that it's like way too mean, when it's really not. Like, it's really just you being like a human.
My favorite quality about Zeta is that she is very kind and perceptive, and she's really good at taking the temperature of everybody in the room and making sure that she's adjusting her energy and level to match what is needed and what is required. And I think that just requires such a deep, fundamental like understanding of empathy and kindness, but it also makes Zeta a very unique person.
I think Aria is really good at, one, like in our relationship, pushing me to do things that I wouldn't always do. I see it in your other relationships too, with other people, so that they have a fun time, but also so that you have like a buddy to do something with. I don't know, I always end up having a great time. Like, you have such a good, you know when to push me and when not to, and when to like help me out when I need to. I think you have such a good vibe check over that kind of thing, and I always appreciate it.
One of my favorite qualities about Izzy is that she, like, her perseverance. She'll try anything and always like gives it her 100.
What I like the most about you is that you are so many things. How secure you are in like who you are. Like, you just, you know, I feel like a lot of women in general have issues with self-esteem, and everyone has them to some degree, but you just feel like you just always seem so confident and like, this is who I am, and you don't care if people like it or don't like it. You're like, this is me, and here I am, and if you don't like it, that's fine. And I always admired that about you.
I feel like I get that from you.
See, but that seems crazy.
I do.
This summer I went to Martha's Vineyard for the first time, and it was so much fun. And there's this one memory of us like playing in the water for probably like an hour. And we kept running in and out, because we were just having so much fun.
Yeah, I think I have the same answer. One of my favorite memories is that time where we were playing in the water and we were diving in and swimming, and the sun was coming down, it was sunset, and everybody else that we like our family who we love was back on the beach, and we were just like having our own private moment and being silly and goofy, and we were having so much fun. We didn't want to get out, but it was getting to be that time, and we just kept finding ourselves drawn back into the water like 10 times, and we were dying of laughter. Like our stomach hurt. We were laughing so much. And it felt like video montage of like a perfect moment, but it actually happened. It was very sweet.
I guess it's a little more recent. It's a little, I don't know. We were watching that Turning Red movie.
I love that movie.
And we just like, neither one of us had seen it, and it was such like a mother-daughter movie. And I was like, and we just like were watching it, and we were talking, and we were like a little teary-eyed. Like that's one of my favorite ones, honestly. And another one is also a movie when we saw Everything Everywhere All at Once together. Like they're just like mom-daughter moments, and it was just like, I don't know, they just felt kind of special.
There was a week in October where we saw 2 concerts together. We saw Declan McKenna, and then later Sammy Ray and the Friends. And then that weekend we had our Halloween party at our apartment with all our friends. So it was just a week of us going activity, like so many social events. And we went grocery shopping and we went to so many stores to buy things for our very elaborate Halloween party.
All of our missions.
So many missions in 1 week.
I think that memory stands out to me because we were like, we were just bonded after those. After that.
Yeah, I think it was like a defining moment and when we became really good friends.
Yeah.
Like tenacity is just like the first word that came to my head. I tend to be like a very intense person when I guess when people first meet me. I come off as very intense, and as much as I am learning to be like gentle and like showing grace and kindness, I do love that part of myself. I think a lot of the times like women are chastised for being like intense, like having like that bossiness, that attitude, and I think like all the women that in my life that I admire, like something that they all have in common is kind of like their audacity and their tenacity, and they're really not afraid to just get upset or show that attitude, show that emotion.
I don't know, though I feel like there's that stereotype of like all girls like the same things, but I feel like every woman I meet is so unique, and I feel like that's my favorite thing.
I think my favorite thing is how strong women are. It takes so much strength to express your true self and be your true self when people are constantly telling you that everything you do is wrong. And so I think that women inherently are really strong, and I think that their vulnerability requires a lot of that strength.
Something I really admire about women is definitely their strength also. I think women are so resilient, kind, and I think just from my personal experience and the women in my life, like I just feel very safe with them, and I feel like there's this space that's created where you're allowed to be vulnerable, and I really value that.
There is just like such an ease about being in a room with only women, and it doesn't even have to be like said or thought of. It's just like immediately there when you walk into a room, even if you don't like them. And I don't even think it's like a choice. I just feel like there is just like some historical, generational thing when like women come in the room together, and everything just is like, a little bit easier.
I think that there is an intrinsic bond between women. I think that women are inherently more vulnerable with one another than they are in other relationships, and I think that there's a lot of genuine connection between women, whether it's you're running into someone in the bathroom and they're having a vulnerable moment and like need a tampon or something like that. Like there's just a lot more ways to have moments with women that are deeply connected, and like I think that women tend to trust each other a lot more off the bat.
Yeah, I think trust, having like a safe space in another woman is like automatic, like you were saying, like someone in the bathroom, or just it can be a stranger, but I feel like that safety and comfort is between all women.
And I think like it is like so intentional to have like female friendships. I think it is like the most purest form of intentionality, because there are so many things that tell you like to hate on women, to not well, sorry, I feel like I'm really talking all over the place, but like, you know, like the abundance mindset, like, and there is enough room for everybody and enough room for like women all together that look different, and there's like a softness to women
from like the moment we're like born or young, like at least in the past generations, like we're taught like we need to like compete, you know, compete. And I think there's always like such an unlearning, or there has been such an unlearning since like that moment that we're young, that like women are the only people, as a woman, like women are the only people who truly understand me and truly understand you. So why are you trying to compete with them? Like they're the only ones who are like vouching for you in this world. Like we're all just vouching for each other, and we all want to uplift each other. And you can only find that like that same sort of like gentleness and softness as you were talking about in like other women. And again, I agree with you. It's like, it is like when talking about gender, like you do include everyone who identifies as a woman, because they are going through those same like thoughts and things and insecurities and just wanting to feel like a woman in this world, whatever that means to them, not what it's supposed to mean to them.
Yeah. To some extent, I feel like there's, and maybe this is just the United States, but there's like a social kind of learning that makes women more competitive with each other, which breaks down that ability to lean on each other. And we were talking about this just not the other day, and I feel like maybe it's getting better. Like I know women older and more my age, especially like in the workforce, like, well, they have this idea like, well, I did this on my own, so I'm not going to help you. And I feel like younger generations are more willing to like lend a hand and be like, this sucked for me. I'm going to help you because no one helped me. And I'm hoping that I'm right in that. But so my answer is complicated, but that's my answer.
But I feel like I have so many women in my life, women behind the camera including, who have just like, we just boost each other up so much in a way that, you know, with all due respect to my male friends, it's just a different bond because we already have that baseline like familiarity and similarities in our lives that we've already had to work through, either together or on our own. That kind of, you know, makes women have more strength together.
I absolutely think there's an intrinsic bond between women. I think living under the patriarchy, women have to endure and be aware of things. Unfortunately, we just have to. And I think there's often like a deep caring and desire to uplift each other because we have that shared burden in many ways.
Can I honestly disagree with you. I feel
About
like
what part?
I feel like women are pitted against each other because
I think men try to.
Yeah, but I think that it happens that some women like don't uplift each other and they don't know how. And then
But do you feel like that's often the case? Or what do you feel like?
I feel like they don't have good role models of like what a female relationship looks like, and then they kind of like turn on each other, and then usually once they get to like know someone, or they create like a friendship, or they have siblings, or they have a mother that they're really close to, they kind of learn how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we have to unlearn the patriarchy. We have to. But do you think by and large like women are not like I feel like
I think most can like see through it. And they uplift each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a big majority that don't know how.
I mean, every relationship's different, so I think we do have like a pretty unique relationship, but also we have other sisters also, and even amongst us, our relationship is unique and different. How specifically, it's like such an abstract concept, it's like kind of hard to talk about, but I think just like our mix of interests and personalities together, it's like chemistry, like there's this
The covalent bonds, ionic bonds.
Like the mixture of us together in our relationship is like different than anyone else in the world, honestly.
Yeah. I think that what makes our relationship so much different is that I know that I can tell you anything judgment-free, you know? There's like so much more room for mistakes and learning from both ends. I teach you stuff, you teach me stuff, you know?
We've had this whole conversation about like just being more emotionally open with like the people in our lives. And like I think that's something that we're both working towards, and we both like help each other kind of reach that point sometimes.
I think you're also like so amazingly honest, like in a way that's my feelings are never hurt, but
I don't know, it's kind of sorry.
I'm like, ooh, noted.
Thank you for the feedback.
Wait, don't say that.
My feelings are never hurt.
Okay.
It's like just the perfect amount of honesty that I'm good with. But that's so true. When I had like a tough conversation with someone recently, I remember Anisha said like, you have to be open and vulnerable. Like the only thing you can do is be open and vulnerable. And I even told it to the person I was like meeting with. I was like, my friend told me that I have to be open and vulnerable, so I'm gonna try.
You have to learn that she's capable, you know, and like she doesn't need me to help her with everything, and you know, and I would help her with whatever she needed me to, but it's like you have to, the ability to let go, allow you to be your own person.
Do you think you've done
I know, but I'm getting better.
that? I mean, I think like the biggest thing is for everyone, you realize your parent is a person,
Yeah.
you know? Like you realize they're not just like, you know, someone who you wipe your boogers on their shirt. You realize like they are, you know, flawed people from their lives, and you realize how many similarities you have, and you realize, you know, what they've gone through is what you've gone through, and you realize like all of these overlapping things with yourself and your past and your parents. They drop from the pedestal of parent onto like, you know, they don't lose the title of parent, but they become they become your like
A peer.
yeah, like they become your friends. They become something different to you,
Yeah.
like more real,
Yeah,
and not
like
just kind of like a figurehead.
Having an adult relationship with you.
Yeah.
Like, my mother died when I was young, and so I don't have what that is, and so it's having like an adult relationship with my kids is I like it. It's fun. You know?
Yeah.
It's not just like I'm your mom and I'm gonna tell you what to do and that's the end. It's let's talk about like life. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that, and have opinions and listen to each other, and it's nice.
I'm really glad that you are my mom.
I'm glad you're my daughter.
I found solace in embracing those who see a reflection of themselves in my eyes. All the beauty, the filth, the joy, and the anguish. People who look at me and go, we're one and the same. And that our pain and experiences mirror each other. And that our interests and passions align like twin stars. They let me know that I am less alone, less filled with sorrow and less afraid. They make me feel more happy and loved.
On your next birthday, I promise to bake you an orange flavored cake. And bring you oranges on your birthday.
Thanks, I
and
love
you
that.
can expect that in August.
Yay, thanks.
And I will deliver.
I love oranges.
I will always be here for you in whatever capacity you need me for. But definitely to go to consignment stores.
Is that a promise?
It's a promise.
So I promise to like always prioritize you, to like show up with my 100% self, and show up on time. Though I will say, I do live in Harlem, but
No, literally, that's never been an issue to me. I feel like I'm always late too.
I promise to go to you whenever you need help, no matter where you are or where I am, no matter what I'm doing or what you're doing. And it only once. Well, I'll probably do it more than once, but yeah, I'll go to you whenever you need help.
I promise to always be here for you, and I promise to always call you for any reason or for no reason. And I promise to come around more.
You're busy, you have a life.
Yeah, but I like playing in your garden.
Well, it's there.
Okay.
I promise that I will always be there for you, and if you ever activate an emergency level of sister need, I will be there for you in a jiffy. I will run across space and time, and if I'm dead, I will come out of the grave and be there for you.
Okay. I promise to be there for you, even when we're not roommates. Always. Thank you. And I was also gonna say that I promise to always show up for you whenever you need it, any time of day. I'll always show up for you. Oh, thank you. Love you, girl. Love you.